So Hazrat Abdullah ibn Salam radiallahu anh says, he called, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam gathered the people, and I heard him say the very first thing that he said, Ya ayyuhan nas, O people. He didn't address just the Muslim, he addressed everybody, both Muslims and non-Muslim, because Islam isn't just for me and you, Islam is for everybody. Islam, the meaning of Islam is peace. Peace is for everyone. Not just for me and you, for everybody. So my friend John and our neighbor John and our friend Barry and Richard, whoever they are, it's all for them as well. So when Rasul addressed, he didn't just say, Ayyuha Muslimin. He said, Ya ayyuhan nas. O people, gather, listen. What is it? He said, Afshu salam. Spread peace. Something, this is the coming of the Rabiul Awwal, something we can actually try and do is spread peace. Doesn't mean that you go and say, yes, is one thing, yes, say salam to one another, assalamu alaikum, salam, this is spreading peace. In other words, is that really you should try to benefit people and spreading peace to one another, joy to one another, not causing harm. Spread peace wherever you can, in your families, in your homes, in your localities, wherever there is, spread the peace amongst one another. Be at peace with your own self even. Some of us are not even at peace with our own self. We're conflicting. Like once Shaykh Mudabbagh, our beloved teacher, they said, is that why people are actually arguing, quarreling, you'll find is that within themselves they're not at peace. The mind is saying one thing, the heart is saying another. The nafs is saying one thing, the soul, spirit is saying another. So therefore the heart is saying something else. So you got these entities doing battle inside you. Intellect saying, no, you should do this. Heart is saying, no, you shouldn't do that. Nafs is saying, you should do this. There's a battle, there's a war within our own selves. So first and foremost, if Rasulullah is saying, Afshu salam, first and foremost, let's spread this peace amongst ourselves, our own self. Be at peace with our own self. Let's try to establish that first. Then spread the peace in your families, in your localities, in your masajid, and so on and so on. So first instruction the Prophet gave was spread peace. Afshu salam. Then what he is saying? At'imut ta'am. Feed. Feed food to the poor. Feed them. Feed people. Feed what? Nowadays, at that time, food was an expensive commodity, really. It wasn't readily available. So it's one of the first things where Prophet is promoting people to feed one another. You know, we have come to this country, our forefathers, our great uncles, they've actually come to this country for dunya, feeding, so that our bellies can be filled and we can live in ease and peace. For dunya's sake. The government, this country has given us food. In terms of food, means of giving us food. What food have we given back to them? What food have we given back to them? In other words, that feeding people, yes, out of joy and happiness, feeding people, that's a great thing. We can also feed them with knowledge, with wisdom, with akhlaq. Feeding people, feed them with your conduct, feed them with the character. This is feeding, feed people real Islam. When you call somebody over, feeding them, they will now taste what Islam is. They should experience Islam from you. Your neighbor should experience it from you. Your colleagues should experience Islam from you. Your wives, your children, they should all be fed. They should all experience Islam. But what we're doing, we're not feeding them. We're being bakhil. We're keeping that to ourselves. For example, we are such stingy people, tight people, is that what's happened, this country has given us food, ample of food, but we're too stingy to even give them a loaf of bread. And yet still, we want them to enter paradise. How is that? Many brothers and sisters are dying away from starvation and hunger. In Bolton alone, Bolton, in Northwest, why are these food banks established? They're there. Feed them. Feed them. Give them something. let Muslims be at the forefront to show this is the conduct of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Feed them with food so they can see and experience the quality of Islam. Feed them with character. When you're there, when you're tending them, when you're seeing them, speaking to them, feed them with your character. Feed them with your conduct. So they can really, really immerse themselves and really experience Islam at first hand. This is the teaching of the Prophet ﷺ. This is the message, this is the legacy of the Prophet ﷺ.